So I recently posted on my Instagram just about what it takes or what's involved with actually playing the sport of hockey. More so from like a mindset, dedication side of things, because of all that kind of goes into the simple fact that it's not like most sports that you can just go pick up a bat, pick up a ball, and go to the park. And how most obviously areas, have parks, pools, courts, fields, all this stuff. And you have to go to the rink. You have to go to the rink when there's ice time available. For young kids, it's early morning. Sometimes mid-afternoon after school. Sometimes the evenings during the season of team practices. Games are obviously early in the weekends. Early, so I'm saying that when I was coaching might hockey, the kids would be getting on the ice 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday. So obviously you can see how that lines up. But then also when you got someone like myself, an adult, right, playing men's league hockey, there's days where I am not getting on the ice till close to 11 o'clock at night. So do your math on how that adds up when you factor in the side hustle, when you factor in family, your own career if you have one, or whatever you got going on. So a lot is going on in one aspect when it comes down to that type of thing. Nevertheless, I got a good question on that. How do I manage? How do I manage, getting out of the rink at 1 o'clock in the morning, getting up early, my training and things of that nature? And I want to do a video because it's a little bit longer answer than I think a quick post would be warranted. Now, granted, I could have answered it very quickly, but I don't think it would have given enough context. And I'm going to say, the first thing you have to establish is, what is your goal, right? What are you training for? What is the purpose of the conversation? For instance, if you want to be better in bodybuilding, a strength-based sport, powerlifting, CrossFit, endurance athlete, marathon, cycling, whatever, well, you should be training with that priority, right? That should be your modality. Your modality of training should benefit those things. If you're somebody who's getting in the gym because you want to sustain, maintain a healthy aesthetic, healthy mindset, lifestyle, things of that nature, you got to just basically, go down that rabbit hole of, is it really that important to just be doing certain things on a more specific basis? And a lot of times I'm going to tell you the truth, I don't think it is. Now, that being said, I've done that. I've spent time just doing bodybuilding as I've spent time doing more athletic or conditioning-based training, combination of all. And, before I got back into skating, most of my workouts for the last number of years have been just bodybuilding-esque. Now, obviously, I'm not a bodybuilder, but just trying to work on aesthetic, muscle building, things of that nature. And a lot of it was because of working through injuries with a back and so forth. But getting back on the ice, I did shift up my workouts. I changed a lot of things because ultimately, right, managing stress and recovery is going to be key to any progress you make. So, for instance, I play hockey Thursdays normally. I'm not out of the rink until about 12 o'clock, a little after 12 o'clock. Usually, long story short, I'm usually in bed by 1 a.m. So I'm also out of the house really early in the morning. Also, if I'm going to play hockey and I want to play and just feel good about playing, I probably shouldn't train legs the day before, day of, and honestly, it's going to impact my workout the day after. So if I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to train legs the day of, before, or after hockey, it doesn't make sense. So the first thing you have to be willing to do is prep and plan, right? So that's the first step of anything in regards to feeling good about what you're doing. So for me, I usually do legs either Saturday, Sunday, based upon my weekend schedule. I do my other bro-based lifts, Monday, Tuesday. I do incorporate more mobility-based work and training. I do obviously change that up a little bit depending on where I lift, which also might impact what you have going on. For myself, my schedule is honestly a little bit all over the place. So in a lot of ways, it kind of benefits me because it kind of keeps me engaged and interested in the gym. Because I might not be in a gym where I would want to necessarily do certain types of workouts, whether it's because of the equipment they have or the fact that they have equipment available to me that I don't have in other gyms. For instance, when I'm able to work out at work, they have a great run, meaning it's like 75, 80 feet long. They have a whole array of kettlebells. I love doing carry-based work. They have deadlift platforms. I like doing that type of work as well. So there, I train with the equipment that's available to me. That's not really conducive towards some of the other training goals I had at the time, but ultimately at the same time, a large part of the reason why I'm in the gym is to feel good, not just look good, but also have good health. And especially at 41 years old, what I quickly realized when I got back on the ice is I might be in shape, but I'm not athletically in shape, and I want to be. As a father, as someone who's 6 years old, who's obviously and hopefully going to get involved in more things himself, I want to make sure I can keep up with him. I want to make sure I feel good doing these things. And then on top of that, with getting some mobility work in, and I'm not talking about full-on 2 hours of mobility work a day. I'm talking about just 10, 15 minutes, a couple times a week. how I feel on the day-to-day doing everyday things is like night and day. So yeah, you know, when you first get on the ice, you're gonna get beat up, but ultimately, you know, your body will adapt to this type of stuff, and you'll find ways to make it work for you. And I will say, I actually feel probably the best I have in quite some time with my general overall fitness. You know, in terms of my aesthetic and like, you know, size of the muscle, I haven't lost any real size. I haven't lost any real strength, even though I'm not training 6 days a week like I might have. You know, I'm probably training closer to 3 or 4. But you know, as long as you keep your intensity factor high enough, as long as your recovery is good, and as long as your nutrition is right, you can still create progress. And you might be able to create progress in other areas. So I know this didn't really say or give it a flat out answer to like that type of question, but I guess the real answer is simply you have to adjust or establish for yourself like what it is you're trying to get out of the training in itself. And if your goals don't align with the work you're doing, then it doesn't make sense, right? And you just need to make sure you feel good about the decision you make, about the work you do. And as long as that's the case, like I really don't think you need to answer to anybody. If, you know, if you're happy getting on the ice and just kind of fucking around every now and then by all means do so. You know, don't not do something that you enjoy because of some, you know, obscure thought process of you can't because you have another goal. But at the same time, don't expect to progress as far as you can in multiple areas at once if you're not prioritized in that area. So that's really it in a nutshell. Obviously, if anybody has questions on that, you know, I'm definitely happy to have those conversations. But yeah, listen, if this makes any sense, if you find some value in it, like, comment, follow, subscribe, all that jazz. Appreciate any of you that make the time to listen to this stuff. I just try to add some value and create some content that should be beneficial to someone out there. I got a lot of stuff that I have kind of coming up. I have a lot of new equipment I should be getting here in the next couple of weeks. I'm really looking forward to do some unboxing videos, some reviews on. I do have some old stuff, or I shouldn't say old stuff, but some stuff that I've been using now for 2-ish, maybe 3 months that I want to do kind of some update reviews on. So I'm going to have more content coming out in regards to the equipment side of things. And as I said before, guys, if you have any questions about, you know, being a, you know, plus 40-year-old, getting back into playing sports and not just being in shape or being in the gym, but if you have questions about nutrition, fitness, mindset, lifestyle, I do a lot of work in that area, and happy to have those conversations as well. So appreciate your time, guys. Have an awesome day. Be good. Be safe.